Bretta is a character in the popular bug game Hollow Knight, where she is a bug. You first find her in Fungal Wastes, where she plays part of Damsel in Distress, and when you save her, she goes back up to Dirtmouth and starts fangirling over you. She writes fan fiction about you, and if you sit next to her on the bench for long enough, she blushes. I mean, Jesus Christ, Bretta, I know the knight saved you and all, but its head is shaped like Phantom, and it doesn't even have genitals. Not that it matters, because as soon as this asshole shows up, Bretta instantly becomes infatuated with this asshole and his bullshit. Unless you leave him to die, which you should. So Bretta starts listening to this asshole and his precepts, which are a whole other thing for another time because there are 57 of them. I don't want to cover Zote's 57 precepts. Bretta starts writing fanfics about this asshole, and she builds a statue of him that's like really buff. What's more is you can fight the statue, and if you beat it a couple of times, Bretta realises this asshole is in fact an asshole. Long story, don't ask. She then leaves Dirtmouth to look for her true love. So today, we are going to be finding her true love. We will be looking through every NPC in Hallownest and looking for the most eligible bachelor and Bretta's new lover. Who will capture this young bug's heart? Let's find out after the break. Okay, so I've got a list of every single NPC in Hollow Knight that I just copied off the wiki, and I'm going to find Bretta's true love through the process of elimination. First off to be eliminated are the really obvious ones, the Dream Warriors and Spirits, because 1, they're dead, and 2, Bretta can't see them. You know, that kind of makes it hard to have a relationship with something you can't see. Then again, Christianity's a thing, so that narrows down the list a little. We're going to cut the Dreamers off the list for basically the same reason. They're dead. And I suppose Quirrell, Tiso, Moss Prophet, Myla, Seer and Cloth need to go as well. That's a shame, I was kind of rooting for some of them. The Distant Villagers and Midwife are also off the list because of reasons. Plus, anything with a very different body shape to Bretta I'm ruling out, so Last Stag, Willow and stuff like that are out. A couple more were to rule out, like the Nailsmith, Shield, Cornifer and Isilda, since they're in relationships, and I severely doubt Cornifer would cheat on anyone. Well, I think that just about covers the riffraff of Hallownest. On to round 2. We have 27 bugs left competing for Bretta's heart, so let's see what Bretta likes in a partner. So, Miss Bretta, what do you look for in potential partners?
Well, I like a bug that's strong and can protect me.
Ah, interesting. Is there anything else?
Yes, actually, I like it when people care about me and won't leave me.
You sounded a little upset there. Has there been a situation, say a potential past relationship, where you've been ignored?
Yes, in fact, I had 2 previous relationships, and in one of them my partner rarely talked to me, and in the other he talked too much. In the end, I broke up with both of them.
Okay, now Miss Bretta, let's move on. Do you have any hobbies or activities that you like to do?
Well, I do like to write sometimes, and I like listening to people's stories.
So you like writing? What kind of writing? Have you published anything yet?
No, I haven't published anything, and I probably won't. I just write fanfic. I just write for myself.
Well, thank you, Miss Bretta, for coming on the show. Wait, is this a show? From that totally real and definitely not fake interview done with Steely Clan, my good friend, Bretta, we now have our criteria for what Bretta likes. She likes bugs who are strong, stick by her side, and can tell stories. Also, they possibly could be a writer. Bretta likes writing, so why can't our love interest? So this straight away does disqualify most our remaining characters like Celebra, since he's running a shop most of the time and wouldn't be able to spend much time with Bretta, and Little Fool because he's just not strong, and he's sort of chained to the ceiling, and Tuck, he's strong, but his true love seems to be eggs. Oh, and he's kind of disgusting. And I don't think he has many stories to tell. And Mask Maker is in too remote a location for brettas, so, well, there's a lot of different bugs that are off the list for various different reasons, and I think going through them will take way too long, be way too boring, and I may or may not lose my sanity. So I'm just gonna go through who I think still got a chance. Oro, Mato, Sly, Dung Defender, Grim, Hunter, Hornet, and Snail Shaman. That last one might be an odd pick to some, but think about it, he's actually quite strong if he can use spells. He probably has lots of interesting stories to tell. I mean, he clearly knows more than he lets on. Plus, I think he'd just to be the unlikely love interest that would fit in this story. This isn't a story, what am I saying? No, never mind. I have reached a bit of a brick wall in terms of narrowing down the list, so it's now down to pretty much my personal opinion now. You can decide in the comments down below who you think would be the best pick. I'm gonna go through each of the remaining candidates and decide who will be most likely Bretta's best match. So, first off we have Oro. He's a complete asshole and he lives in a really remote location. Bretta might like him, but I doubt Oro would like her as he seems to pretty much hate everything. Second up is his much kinder brother Mato, who doesn't live in that remote a location. In fact, he lives right next to Dirtmouth pretty much, but he seems too devoted for his craft, for love, and while he is really kind, I think he would view Bretta more as distraction if they got in a relationship. So that's another no. Next up is Sly. He's no for basically the same reasons, and since he's a shopkeeper in Dirtmouth, so if Bretta liked him, she would have already asked him out already. Now we have Dung Defender, who would be a perfect match, in my opinion, since he's an artist, but he's kind of a shit artist. Not that he's bad at art, it's just all of his art is made out of shit, along with the rest of his house, and he's still getting over his last ex. Oh, we're running out of options, huh? Grim. He's mysterious, and I think women like that. I wouldn't know. Apart from that, Grim's an artist, and probably has loads of interesting stories to tell, so he's a potential match. Now, Hunter. He's lonely. He has lots of stories to tell, and he's a writer. The one problem is, he only seems to respect the strong and attempts to scare off anyone who will come near them, just to test their nerve. So Bretta might just consider staying away from him for self-preservation purposes. I don't think he's a good match. I think Hornet wouldn't really work either because she seems a bit too proud to date anyone, honestly. Bretta might like Hornet, but their chances of even meeting are slim since Hornet hides away a lot. So that's another almost definite no. Only one candidate left. Snail Boy. So I don't even think I need to explain why he's perfect for Bretta. He's mysterious, friendly, and powerful. Sure, he may not be an artist, but you could consider the spells an art. On top of that, look at him. Just look at him. He evidently knows more than he lets on, and that means he has stories to tell. Plus, he's close to the surface, and his only competitor is Grim. I could debate which of our two remaining candidates has the best chance at this point, but we all know who's going to get Bretta at the end of the day. It's going to be Snail Boy. I do not need to explain any more than I already have.